Hello to all subscribers, followers, viewers, friends. So today I'm going to go through a video discussing the welterweight division's potentially best prospect. I think for me there's two big prospects in the division. That's Vergil Ortiz and this man being Jaron Boots Ennis. 24-0, 22 knockouts, boxing on January the 10th, 2020 this year, against Kazakhstani guy, Bakhtiar Ayubov. He's a good opponent. He's a live opponent. He's got a good knockout percentage. He's 14 wins, 12 knockouts, 1 loss, 1 draw, and there was 1 no contest as well, which I couldn't quite get to the bottom of what that was. I watched a few videos. He's okay, but I would say he's limited, and it'll be a comfortable win for Ennis. So why for me he is the welterweight division's biggest prospect, or one of the top 2 anyway. I'm sure he gets fed up in videos of being mentioned alongside Vergil Ortiz, but it's inevitable, and hopefully one day down the line you'll see them box each other. He's a knockout artist, great knockout percentage, very, very effective puncher. He's very, very confident, very brash and cool and smooth in the ring. He's got a great jab, very, very effective jab, mixes it up quite well. He's what I would call a boxer puncher leaning more towards the puncher. Not because he can't box, because he's very, 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 very talented guy. He's got good head movement, good footwork. The confidence translates into some lovely showboating movements. It's always fun to see them things from these guys. But I would just lean more towards the puncher, because he has great punch picking ability, but he intends to look for the knockout all the time. So when he's throwing shots, he's looking for the knockout, and because he's leaning more towards that, perhaps his defense occasionally gets sacrificed, which, I mean, it makes it more exciting, to be honest. A lot of the most popular boxers are knockout artists historically. It's always been a knockout or be knocked out kind of job. That's often the way that it plays out, because you have to commit, again, like I said before, you have to commit a lot more to the punches. And inevitably, if your opponent is skilled at making you miss, you're going to be open. They're going to find gaps and land shots. That being said, he has great variation in the punches, throws from some lovely angles. The confidence in his head movement and defensive skills means that he can counter wonderfully. Some of the counter punches he throws are absolutely beautiful. He lands at very, very precise positions on the opponent, which is a very, very big skill. It's something that the old time boxers used to do far more, focus on where they're hitting the opponent, not just landing. Round here, where all the nervous system endings are, where the biggest effect, the most damaging effect for the punches comes in, from the back of the ear, down the jaw, temples. Minimal effort on landing on the front of the face with anything but the jab. It just does less damage. There's no value in trying to knock a guy out by hitting him in the nose, because there's nothing there to knock you out. Historically, you won't find 1 out of 1,000 knockouts that are a straight punch down the middle. It's very, very rare. Far more frequently seeing them come down the sides of the head or body shots. Speaking of which, exceptional body puncher. Really relaxed, really confident in close, so he finds some lovely body work in close. Left uppercut, left hooks, varying the angle up into the body, nicely lifting up, coming across, chopping into the ribs. I honestly don't believe we're going to see the best of Jaron Ennis until you see him box the likes of Vergil Ortiz or one of the current champions now. Speaking of which, I think a good opponent for him actually after his next bout, which I think he'll win by knockout again, I think a good opponent for him would be someone like Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia, who is a very tough fight for everybody, but is beatable, has been proven to be beatable in close fights. It's a great name on his scalp. It's really, really going to cement his place in the division. Another name would be Keith Thurman. Looked very poor for me against Pacquiao. A shell of his former self, and I think Ennis has the beating of him. I don't think Thurman's ever going to fully recover from the shoulder injury. I haven't heard many rumours of him, so I don't know if he's even looking for a fight or whether he's just living off that Pacquiao paycheck. The last one was Mikey Garcia. He's a small guy. I think Ennis would beat him, but very, very talented boxer. In pound for pound, top 10. Obviously lost to Errol Spence, but it was a big step up. So for me, you're not going to see the best. You're not going to see him at his peak. You're not going to see the pinnacle of Jaron Ennis till he's boxing them kind of names. I think he offers something different to the division. There's a little bit more fluidity, a little bit more freedom of movement, a little bit more enjoyment in his boxing. Everything isn't so organised. Look at Terence Crawford, and he's an exceptional boxer. He's in my pound for pound top 5 all day, every day. He's beautiful to watch as a purist, as a boxing purist, but he's too efficient for excitement. He's too efficient to be entertaining. It's for the regular everyday person. You're going to watch him clinical, and to be fair to the guy, there's some absolutely exceptional bits of talent there, but he's not a huge seller because there's no risk of him getting caught, or you don't feel like there is. There's no risk of him taking a risk. He's too content to win comfortably and do what he does, which is dominate. He's an absolutely exceptional fighter. I'm not saying that, but I believe with Ennis there's a little bit more vulnerability there. We haven't seen it yet, but from my perspective as a coach and someone who's watching his fights and analysing how he's boxing, he's very reliant upon his reflexes, which is great. I personally teach guys that reflexes are the most important form of defence. If you're not there to be hit, you cannot be hit. But his chin's quite high. Sometimes he gets himself a bit narrow. And often you find with guys that do a lot of showboating, they end up getting caught out doing exactly that. Much the same as Adrian Broner. I'm not comparing the two style-wise, just that Adrian Broner in the past has been guilty of that and been punished for it. The karmic circles come around and got him back. To be honest, there's no real notable opponents on Jaron Ennis's record. Lots of good opponents, lots of guys with winning records, lots of guys who have had a lot of experience, more experience than Ennis in the pro ranks, but no names of worth in the welterweight division that you would look at and go, oh well, that guy was definitely going to be the next big thing. In the amateurs, there was an article I found online. I can't remember the source. Just said that Ennis was 58 and 3 in the amateurs, 58 wins, 3 losses. Seemingly, from what I found on BoxRec, one of those losses, or a couple of those losses, were to one of the Gary Russell brothers, Gary Antoine Russell, I believe. It means nothing, but it's good that he had that experience, and it's obviously showing in his fights now that the skill set is there. He's great on his feet. He's great with the head movement. He lands hard. He lands accurately, and he's got a nice jab. For me, he's a very, very complete fighter. There's only a few small gaps in him that I mentioned. He's going to be a very hard man to beat. He's trained by his father, Derek Ennis Sr. I can't speak. Derek Ennis Sr., who is, I believe, trained him for his whole pro career. His last win was against, I don't know if it's Demian Fernandez, who wasn't exceptional. 12 wins, 5 losses, 12 wins, 5 knockouts, 1 loss by knockout at the time of the fight. Now 12-2 with 2 knockouts because Ennis sparked him out. It's just another fight. They're just building him. They're building him very well. He's building up a great record. He's having an opportunity to demonstrate his skills, grow his profile. He's been managed very well in that sense. And I just hope that we see a lot more of him soon, and we see what he's really capable of, because I believe he is an exceptional talent. And outside of Virgil Ortiz, I don't think anyone in the welterweight division will compare to him over the next. Probably you're not going to see him at that pinnacle till maybe three years time. We'll see a couple of big fights in between, but I think when a lot of the sort of stalwarts of the welterweight division move up or move on or retire, Ennis will be the man standing there at the top. I'm going to sit again alongside Virgil Ortiz. There we go then, guys. That's my opinion on welterweight prospect, Jaron Ennis, Boots. Cheers for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to head over to The Boxing Locker on Instagram. Give me a follow. Watch some of my content. Loads of boxing tutorials on there. Subscribe to my page now. Lots of content. Many more videos being uploaded soon. Breakdowns of different fighters, breakdowns of different prospects, breakdowns of different fights. I'm going to keep covering as much boxing as I can over the next 12 months. And there we go, guys. Theboxinglocker.com as well will be launching soon. That's my online coaching platform. It's going to be the most comprehensive online library of boxing tutorial videos that you can find, as far as I'm aware. I haven't seen anything better. I'm going to have hours worth of content on there, starting from the very basics of what you need to know as somebody who's never boxed before, and covering everything that will benefit a complete novice, a complete beginner, to an experienced boxer who wants to improve, who wants to tighten up, who wants to become more effective. Thanks, guys. I'll see you again for the next video. All the best. Take care.